ladies and bros? Welcome back to Fourth and Troll Fantasy, the most entertaining fantasy football podcast on the planet. I'm Noah Selby.
I'm Wes Selby.
And today, Wes, you ready to...
You gotta be kidding me.
It's
been a week. You forgot my name.
I already messed it up.
Grow up.
You ready to back that ass up, dude?
Dude, is it not Tuesday or what, dude?
I'm ready, dude. We're talking handcuffs and backups today, guys. We're giving you the best handcuffs and backups of the 2024 season. It's going to be a fun time. Stick around, jump in. We got a great show for you. We got an extra exciting. Oh, dude, take over.
Real quick. Is there in the fantasy football world, have we ever referred to a handcuff to the non-running back position? I know it's generally just like someone gets hurt.
I think you usually think that because it's when someone does get hurt, they jump up. But I mean,
yeah,
it's our show.
My handcuff's Devonta Smith, because if AJ Brown gets hurt, whoa, watch out.
Watch out for him. His value, he's actually gonna have value if AJ Brown gets hurt. But
yeah,
dude, it's our show. We make the rules. We do whatever we want.
That's true. We're in charge.
My handcuff is Mike White. Just
dude.
For obvious reasons. You see the hookup connection from him to Chosen Anderson?
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, that was a
Hall of Fame quarterback right there.
We're gonna build a statue outside Hard Rock. We got a great show. It's gonna be fun. Follow us on our socials. And we're gonna jump into it. Before we do that, like, subscribe, comment right now. Who's your favorite handcuff for 2024 season? I'll remind you to do that later too. While you're down there, we got some fun stuff this season. We have a Discord that we've started, Discord community with weekly rankings as the season starts. We're giving away a signed autographed James Cook jersey this season. It's going to be a blast if you can beat us in fantasy football. And then we got custom merch that you can get. All of that is down in the bio, in the description, all through our patreon.com/fourthandtrollfantasy. And we have merch. I'm not wearing any right now. Wes, are you wearing any? I don't have any on right now.
No, I wear it too much. It's actually dirty.
I've got the undies on. I've got the Fourth and Troll thong on right now.
Yeah. Would you show?
Subscribe to the Patreon to be able to see that one. That's how you get to view that.
Unlock that too.
Yeah, exactly. Beyond that, subscribe, like, ring the bell, and let's just jump into it. Wes, we're going to talk about handcuffs. Handcuffs, backups. You know them, you love them. We always talk about them going into the fantasy football season. We've got 6 options for you guys today. 6 great options, 6 top tier options. And no, they're not Blake Corum, because he's obviously the clear top handcuff to have. Because if Kyron Williams goes down, you got to plug and play borderline RB1 likely. So we're not going to talk about Blake Corum because you all already know that. If you don't know that, now you do. Blake Corum is the top handcuff. But we're talking about 6 more fantastic options for you guys. And it's going to be a fun time. Let's jump into it, Wes. I'm excited to talk about this first guy. And it is rookie running back Marshawn Lloyd of the Green Bay Packers. Now, this guy was talked about a bit. He maybe flew under some people's radars. Definitely flew under my radar until we got through the draft. And then I looked into him more and more and got really excited about this guy. He is a very exciting player to have as a handcuff. And I know we're talking about handcuffs as in if you have the starter, you're going to want to have the other guy. My aim, at least with my 3, Wes, and you have your 3, at least with my 3, my aim is to actually give you guys handcuffs that, yes, if the starter goes down, these guys will be so fantastic and fill in so well. But I want to give you guys also some standalone value as well. And I believe that Marshawn Lloyd has some fantastic standalone value. Here's why. Josh Jacobs had the lowest yards per carry of any running back with 200 or more rush attempts last season. That's not good. And I know he's going to a new fun offense in Green Bay, but that's not a good time. He was also bottom 5 in yards before contact. Also bottom 5 in yards after contact. How did he get a contract, dude? I don't even know. Josh Jacobs, it's not looking great for him. I want to look at some trends here real quick with this Packers backfield. Aaron Jones, 4 of his last 5 seasons, top 10 fantasy football running back. A.J. Dillon, I know, last year's Shrek of the NFL, nobody wanted him, has been a top 26 running back to, excuse me.
He's coughing. For those of on our radio audience, on your way to work, Noah's coughing, taking a sip from his water. He's back. Hold on. Never mind. Stop it. Keep driving.
That was a really good
play-by-play.
That was a really good play-by-play. Excuse me. Sorry. I want to look at the trends here of this Packers backfield. Aaron Jones, top 10 fantasy running back 4 of his last 5 seasons. A.J. Dillon, awful last year. Top 26 running back 2 of his last 3 seasons. They coexisted together. There were 2 top 30 running backs in this backfield 2 of the last 3 seasons, and the starter for this team has been a top 10 fantasy running back 4 of the last 5 years. Last year, Aaron Jones obviously wasn't because he was hurt. Marshawn Lloyd is being drafted as the RB 49. Guys, something's got to give here. Even if he only becomes the primary backup to Josh Jacobs, he's more talented and a more versatile player than A.J. Dillon. And he's a running back with top 24 upside going as the RB 49 in the 14th round. It feels free. It feels free. It feels like you're going to have a bye week fill-in or option or something like that for almost nothing. Marshawn Lloyd, easy, great option for a handcuff backup for me. I'm loving it.
Are you drafting this guy, or are you saying to keep him on your waiver wire list?
He's being drafted. He is going in the 14th round. So I do have a guy here that is a waiver wire guy. But yeah, no, Marshawn Lloyd is being drafted. And I think it's because people do recognize that he's going to have an opportunity in this backfield. I'm just saying, listen, he's going as near the RB 50, and he's probably going to be, the production level is going to be 2 times as good as that, potentially. So I like me some Marshawn Lloyd.
Sure. I don't have much to comment about because you're the one who's been introducing me to this guy since he was drafted to the Packers, and I was like, okay, well, I'll follow your lead. We'll see where it goes in the end.
Absolutely. Who are you backing that ass up for?
Oh, 3 men. 3 men this episode. I'm going to back my ass up for.
What a bunch of lucky guys.
Starting with someone who's actually not really a backup. And I think that's what's so spectacular. Tennessee Titans running back Tajay Spears is not actually really going to be the backup per his new head coach, who called the Tony Pollard, Tajay Spears backfield a 1A, 1B combination. And that is great. And for those that paid attention to fantasy, which if you're watching this, you definitely care about fantasy football, you saw how good Tajay Spears was. And when Derrick Henry left Tennessee and is now in Baltimore, went to Baltimore, everyone that has Tajay Spears in Dynasty erupted. We said we did it. We drafted the right guy. It's his backfield because he had several weeks that were actually better than Derrick Henry and several weeks where he had more of a snap count than Derrick Henry. And people were really concerned. Derrick Henry still finished top 10 because he's the king. But just to kind of let you know how good Tajay Spears was last year, he did better than Ramondre Stevenson in the finish. He was running back 34. Ramondre Stevenson was 35. Just so you know, just like this was no random guy. He did pretty well. He was tied for 9th in the NFL for targets and receptions in the running back position. That is fantastic for PPR value, and also 11th in the NFL for receiving yards by running back. You put all that together for an 11th round running back that is basically a starter. And of course, if Tony Pollard does get hurt, Tajay Spears fills in nicely. I have a little bit of high hopes for Tony Pollard, sort of a resurgence now that there's someone else to share the load, because maybe that's what he needed last year with Dallas, and he didn't have an Ezekiel Elliott, a power back. Tajay Spears is that kind of power back with PPR upside, so I like him a lot for this year as my first handcuff in this episode.
Yeah, I've come around a little bit on Tajay Spears for redraft this season, and I think it is because we see how the Brian Callahan, the new head coach of the Titans, we saw how he used the backfield in Cincinnati. And there was a lot of volume for Joe Mixon over the years in Cincinnati. And as he's referred to this backfield, it is going to be a split. It's going to be a 1A, 1B. So I like Tajay Spears a lot. He's the more affordable option. And in the 11th round, you can't do much better than that when you're going to get a guy who's going to get a lot of work, who's proven that he can play up there with the big boys, and he's got some good PPR value. So I'm a big fan. I'm gonna swing maybe a little similar player here, also a second year running back, Wes. And it's Chase Brown for the Cincinnati Bengals, who we just mentioned, their former offensive coordinator. Listen, I like that we did this. We didn't know we did this, so I like that we did this. 407 running back opportunities in Cincinnati last season. Just to add a little more pudding onto your case there, Wes. Take that to Tennessee. Take that to Tennessee. Take that to Tennessee.
Take that to Tennessee.
And see what they're going to do with Tajay Spears and Tony Pollard. But also, that's not just the OC. That is also Zach Taylor, their head coach, who is also likes to increment, who likes to intermittent fast. He likes to implement this sort of getting a good amount of volume to the running backs here. I know Zach Moss is there. I don't see Zach Moss taking more than like 60% of that pool of 400 opportunities. And it was a small sample, but Chase Brown last season averaged 11.1 yards per reception as a running back. I think they're going to enjoy getting him a little bit more involved, especially because there's not really a true number 3. I know like Jermaine Burton as the number 3 wide receiver there, the rookie, but I think we get to see Chase Brown in the slot a little bit maybe. And he's going in round 13 as the RB 40, who's, he's going to be set up for a volume running back because there's no one behind him really if Zach Moss does go down. But I do think he has some standalone value. He's good in the PPR game. I like this, Wes. 2 pretty similar guys here that we just talked about back to back.
Yeah,
with Tajay Spears and Chase Brown. Exciting guys to talk about, though, and guys that both have that standalone value. Tajay Spears a little bit more, but Chase Brown does also have that standalone value. And if Zach Moss goes down, Chase Brown can step right back up into that role and go ahead and do more. And we're not even really certain for sure that Zach Moss is absolutely the RB1. Chase Brown did flash a lot last year. He got some good opportunities down the stretch. So we'll see. But a lot of opportunities there for 2 guys who have chances to be able to grab some opportunities in that backfield. I like
it. And Chase Brown has been he was clocked as the 2nd fastest ball carrier in the NFL last year. He had a faster ball carrying speed than Tyreek Hill. Just to kind of add a little more juice, a little more zest to this character. I almost named him. I had a feeling you were going to name him, and so I had selected my 3, and then before we recorded, you were like, "Nah, I'm gonna go with Chase Brown because I really like this guy.
Absolutely,
he's very fast. He is he's like Keaton Mitchell, kind of like Devon Achane. He's that kind of just really fast, and so you give him the ball, he's getting 4 yards easily. So I really, really like him.
Real fun guy over there. Wes,
real gentleman.
Continue twerking. Back it up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna twerk my thing all the way to New York. It's gonna go into the Giants camp.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, I almost did this too. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever done this on the show before, but that was fun.
Jeez, Gromit. I want to just bring. I just want to reintroduce the trollers because we've talked about this guy before. Tyrone Tracy Jr., rookie running back out of Purdue, who has already seen his share of first-team reps in place of the Saquon Barkley shoes that are left behind. Devin Singletary is right now in line to have them, but who knows if he's going to keep them. And just a little bit of research, Tyrone Tracy was a wide receiver that is now converted into a running back who is a very deep early player to not just take the opportunity as like the starting running back, but he has very good PPR potential as well. So these are also, it seems to be a theme for this episode of handcuffs that we like because there's PPR potential. Of course, again, why Blake Corum is the number one handcuff of this season, because Kyron Williams is probably the most injury prone running back in the league. Christian McCaffrey no longer has that crown, sorry. But this is something to keep in mind. Running backs that don't have to wait for their starter to get hurt for them to be valuable, but you have someone that already can make a difference with PPR potential. If you're not in PPR, this may not be a massive selling point for you, but at least you should know the name Tyrone Tracy Jr., New York Giants running back, because, I mean, he's not even being drafted in fantasy.
No.
So don't even worry about him being sniped unless you really want to draft him, but just keep his name in mind.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think I don't know, Hard Knocks is on in the offseason right now. It's covering the Giants offseason. I haven't gotten to see any full episodes yet, but I've seen some clips, and it's with the GM in the room.
The clip.
When they're like, what are we gonna do? Can we do that with? Can we franchise and trade Saquon? If someone's gonna trade for him, is it worth this? Whatever. And at one point, I think one of like the directors of player personnel is like, "What's the identity of the team gonna be, though?" And it's like, dude, it's gonna be the New York Giants, like sponsored by Dockers and Sperry's, because Daniel Jones is your quarterback.
Oh, I miss Sperry's.
I know, but Tyrone Tracy Jr. adds a bit of a bit of juice, a bit of an electricity, especially in that PPR role. So I think I love it. I think it's fantastic, as you can tell by my lovely hand reactions.
Wallace and Gromit cheese motion.
Yeah. I'm going to jump into my last guy here. It's a guy I'm excited to talk about. Another rookie running back, and it's Ray Davis of the Buffalo Bills. I want to give a quick shout out to Jim Coventry. I believe he works for RotoWire. I saw a tweet from him the other day that said that James Cook, over the last 5 games of the season, was in the 66th percentile in yards after contact and was rushing for just 2.6 yards per carry. Now, over those last 5 games of their season was when that Joe Brady offense was really going. So, listen, it could be ups and downs. I know James Cook definitely has his value in the PPR game. We love James Cook. No hate to him. I saw Latavius Murray way too much for my liking last season as a James Cook owner. And with Joe Brady and this Bills offense, for whatever reason, and for being a James Cook owner in dynasty leagues, I hope that James Cook can bulk up a little bit and get involved more inside the 10-yard line. But my goodness, he was not doing that last season. Now they have Ray Davis in place to step into that Latavius Murray role inside the 10. I think he could see some early down work at some point through the season as well, depending on just kind of what we saw last season. And it's going to be interesting. You're going to have to watch and see. I will say he's a better pass blocker than James Cook is. And I do believe that if James Cook goes down, this is a guy who can be, they've got similar skill sets. I think he can be maybe 75, 80% of what James Cook is if James Cook goes down. And so you're looking at maybe a solid RB2 at that rate if James Cook does go down, and he's going undrafted. So listen, what more can you want out of a guy? No draft cost. Just pick him up. That's all you need. But if you got a late pick and you don't know what to do with it, consider Ray Davis. I think he's an interesting option, especially if you are a James Cook owner. So that's all I'm going to talk about the Bills for the rest of the season.
I'm sure that was the last time the Bills will come up.
That's the only time they'll be fantasy relevant at all.
Yeah, wait till we get to our rankings. I'm curious, just for fun. Right now, do you think James Cook can finish top 10 in fantasy? Like, yes, he could, but like right now, are you feeling he's a top 10 running back?
No.
Oh, you're thinking no.
I don't think he has the touchdown upside. So I don't think when you score 4 rushing touchdowns in 2 seasons, you have Josh Allen, who is the primary, who's leads your team in rushing touchdowns. It's tough. I do love the PPR value. I do think he's a value I need him to score more touchdowns. If those pick up, then yes, he can sneak in that top
10. Okay, but you think that Ray could be a goal line back?
I do. I think that we saw so much. They would James Cook would help him get down the field. He'd be great. He'd pick up chunk plays, and they'd get to like the 8-yard line, and it'd be like, you know what we should do? Not reward that running back who just got us down the field. Let's bring in 39-and-a-half-year-old Latavius Murray to go ahead and try and score a touchdown and then not do it. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. We'll have to see. But I do think Ray Davis, I think they drafted him for a purpose. And I think he's similar enough to Latavius Murray that we could see him slot in there.
Fair enough, my guy.
Fair enough.
You want me to close out with your favorite player from this episode?
Oh, goodness.
You're going to love this. This is going to be, don't even think about it. Don't try to guess.
Yeah.
This is going to be great. Let's talk about here. Let me strut my stuff. Let me throw my fat dumpy trunk all the way to Minnesota. How about Ty Chandler?
Oh,
you want to talk about Ty Chandler?
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Oh, yeah. That's
I started thinking
one.
for this. I started thinking for this episode. I was like, who are the backup running backs around the entire NFL? And when I got to the NFC North, which I don't know why, I do clockwise from 12 o'clock all the way, and I start AFC, and then I do NFC. So I ended up finishing at the NFC North, and I was like, Green Bay, no, Justin. Oh my gosh, Aaron Jones is so going to get hurt.
Yeah.
He's absolutely going to get hurt. Let's talk about him. He missed 5 games last season. 5 games. He got hurt in week 1 when the Packers stomped the Bears. He had a hamstring strain, and he missed pretty much 4 games. So it's about 6 games he missed. But he barely played week 4 before he missed some time already. So it was already like the first half of the season he was hurt. And then he suffers an MCL sprain in week 11, and he misses the next 3 games. And now he is going to be a 30-year-old running back in his 8th year, coming off a hamstring strain and an MCL sprain. And we already know he has a long injury history. This is somebody's job for the taking, and Ty Chandler has already taken the starting job in Minnesota before. He took Alexander Madison's job last year. And just for the stats, those are like stats, when he did start to take over for Madison, 4.2 yards per carry. It's not too bad. 16 carries per game. It's not too bad. He had 3 rushing touchdowns in 8 games. Had a little bit in the PPR game, about 3 or 4 targets a game. Not too bad. That might go up with J.J. McCarthy. Maybe not, because he's going to be obsessed with one of these with Jefferson or T.J. Hawkinson. But either way, in week 15, Ty Chandler finishes the RB4 on the week. RB4. That's 20 plus points. I think it was like 23 or 4 points.
Mm-hmm.
This is, I think, the very best handcuff next to Blake Corum, possibly a better handcuff than Blake Corum, because he can actually take the starting role. And so that is who I'm saying is the way I'm closing out the show, the best possible handcuff to draft, not just keep an eye on and you put on your watch list for a week 1 waiver wire pickup. I think you should draft Ty Chandler.
Dude, I love it.
That's how I finish.
I love it so much. Dude, Kevin O'Connell loves this guy. He has spoken so highly of him. Kevin O'Connell loves him. I think this is definitely, dude, nailed it right on the head. Drop that thing, back that ass up right onto that.
That's how I twerk.
That dude, your fiance is a very lucky woman.
She knows.
Listen, that's going to do it. Thanks for hanging out with us. Drop down in the comments how you like to back that ass up. And let us know who your handcuff is this season. This is, man, here. I'll edit this to the front of the episode. For the Troll Fantasy drinking game, every time Noah says back that ass up, take a shot. And I'm sorry that you passed out by minute 14 of this episode. But anyways, like, subscribe, ring the bell. Join our Discord, play some fantasy football, win a James Cook signed jersey, get some custom merch. All that is through our Patreon, which is linked below. Make Title Patrol smile by liking, subscribing, and ringing the bell. And we will see you guys next time. My name is Noah Selby.
And I'm Wes Selby.
And this has been 4th and Troll Fantasy. 4th and Troll Fantasy is a production of FQ Media Group and Selby Artistic Workshop.